Peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of struggle. Salute, salute, salute as you come on in. Please know that this is a safe space. Please know that this is a space of learning and getting learned up. This is a space of love, a space of educating and being educated, of comments, concerns, thoughts, questions, answers, analyzing. This is a space of intelligence and unity, all on our path towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please make sure all contact information is in the chat for the duration of the chat. Please make sure that all funding information is in the chat for the duration of class and throughout class. Yes, please fund this war effort. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management assistance, please book an assessment. Please, if you're already under the fold, book your sessions. And please know that there are 2 IG pages. One I do not have access to. Make sure you are DMing the proper page. I get back to people damn near immediately. Okay? So if you're booking an assessment, or you're sending out an email and it's not being answered, it's not like me. I always answer my emails, DMs, messenger, whatever it is. If you or anybody you know is in need of domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Learn the warning signs. Find out what you need to be alerted to. What are the alarms? Okay? Domestic violence is very, 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 very frequent nowadays. So please, the life you save could be your own. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. I'm telling you, my schedule is off today. I'm all over the place. One little bump and everything shifts. But I got to get this in. And I'm trying to run through it. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me, rock with me. I'm on it. You got to be on it too. So please, man, listen, send out these shares. Let your classmates know you up in here. You dig? Jeff Sparks, what's going on? We see you in here. What's going on? Tony Grant, what's good with you? Hoyt Austin, oh man, you the first one. 55, hold that. Yeah, hold that. Latrell, yes, you back on your thing. I see it, Big Swerve. 55, hold that. Yeah, Big Swerve, you gotta hold that. V. Gibson, what's going on? Let them know. Let them know, V. Gib. What's the countdown? How many days clean? Talk about it. Batty, what's going on? Philip, boom, what up? A. Wood. Classroom assistant extraordinaire. What's going on? Zone 864. What it do? Oh, Truth Lady, what's going on out there? Huh? Out there in Kakalaka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Bushhead, what's going on? Dustfro, what's going on? Think for yourself. We see you. Hey, K. Kai Stone is in the spot. Floyd Williams, what's going on? GB. Mark Lewis, please put that merch up in the spotty spot. Darrell Javon. Salute. George Johnson. Yeah. Paige. Hey. Paige. 55. Hold that. Andrea Jones, we see you. What's going on? What's good with you? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Turner. What's going on? Vanessa Robinson. Pierre, I see you. What's going on? Paige, what's a 55? A 55 is when you skip class, when you cut in class, and that's where your grade gonna be because you're not in tune with the information. So you get a 55 just like you got in Not in grade school. They ain't give you 55s in grade school. Middle school and high school. So don't get them 55s up. Nah, too many 55s. You get kicked up out of class. Yes, Nandu. Yes, Jams. You got a 55. Hold that. Drew, 55. Hey, Lay Charles, what's going on? Jay Skywalker, Detroit is up in the building. Take you a high 55, Skywalker. Let's see if you can walk that sky with a 55 on your back. Vitamin Vision TV. See you. Tierra, what's going on? Andre Smith, what it do? Vaughn Joyner, what it do? What it do? What it do? Yes, in all sincerity, we have to speak on this. And we have to speak on it because it is very important and it's hard not to politicize it. We lost 3, and I say we because these are melanated folks. 3 U.S. soldiers yesterday over there in the Gulf, over there where it's active. And whenever we lose people over there, it's very, very, very disheartening. I can tell you as an ex-service member, I can tell you as somebody who served overseas, as a young person, I went in there at 18. I was not patriotic. That was not my idea. My thoughts on going into service in all reality, and I've said it before, was to get arms because that's what I was into. That's what I was raised as. And that's what I was doing in the streets of East New York and the streets of New York City. I was a stick-up kid. I'm not going to ever downplay that. And my idea from listening and hearing from older folks that you could go into service and get guns and whoa, I know it was difficult in New York City to do it at that time, even though we did have a lot that was moving around. Everybody didn't have access to it, and everybody wasn't getting money like that to store up on weapons. And we're talking about 88, okay? Very different than in the South and out West. So that was my idea. I was getting in trouble. People around us was getting clipped and killed. So I was intelligent enough. I was already out of school a year, graduated early and had a year in college. And I just went in. Not patriotic, not thinking to serve this flag, none of that. And then when I found out that upon going in, there was a GI Bill, hey, let's do it. It's an experience. But I was never one to believe that I was going to be unalived in that. And getting to my duty station and being a combat medic attached to an infantry unit, I realized how dangerous it was and seeing that people were unalived every day in peacetime. And I'm sure that their family members didn't think that that was going to happen or could happen. I can recall me coming through basic training, one of the worst basic trainings, not the worst because it built character, but one of the hardest, the toughest was Fort Bliz, Texas, right in El Paso, border town, where we seen the people coming across the border on a regular basis and was warned about it back then. So this thing is not new, right? We was always told in basic training not to go down to the highway to the Circle K because a lot of bandits was down there coming across the border and they would rob you. So, I recall hearing, I believe it was Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It was one of the other basic training spots, bases, where an artillery round had been mistakenly shot into the barracks for some reason. And a lot of basic trainees were unalived. And that was back then. That was 88. And most people don't know that because they don't hear about it, they don't publicize it. People in basic training people that's serving overseas that's not in hostile environments because of the training, because of what takes place, you get unalived often in the service. But we don't hear about it. We just don't hear about it. These three were not regular service people. They were reservists. If you don't know what a reservist is, that means somebody who signs up and either signs up for National Guard or Army Reserve or whatever branch of service you believe that you would be proficient in, whether it's Marines, Navy, whatever. A reservist is somebody that goes through basic training and gets trained in a specific AIT, which was what we called it back then, a job, and then they go home. And they may, I believe back then, and I'm not sure if it's still like that, you will go to some duty station 1 weekend a month. So that's what a reservist is. They're not somebody who's making a career out of being in it. And definitely are not people who you would think to be called up to go to a hot spot, because you already have regular Army or regular Marines or Navy and Air Force personnel in those spots. Okay? So they were just reservists. And being that over the last, really since 9/11 and all these spots have been hot, reservists have been being used more than average. And that's what people are hearing over and over. Reservists are being called and they're calling these reservists. That's why these families are so nervous, because your reservist personnel may be a nurse at a hospital or a doctor at a hospital. It could be a construction worker or a teacher. These are people who have regular, average, day-to-day jobs. But on a specific weekend and maybe 2 weeks out of the year, they are members of the armed forces. So for us to lose these three, I know their families are grieving and going through it, because what is the sense in it? And for real, as far as us being an oppressed class, being people who are still marching, protesting, seeking policy, even to this day in 2024, to be not equitable where we supposed to be, in their eyes at least, because we do know that we can never be equal or equitable to demons, to people who do not honor contracts, to people who are just warmongers. We can't be equal to that. We are way above that in intelligence and in essence. So for someone to be unalive for purposes that we don't gain in at all is even more impactful. And definitely when we're losing, or where these families have lost young melanated women. Two of them, right? And let me make sure I have the names. A specialist, Kennedy L. Sanders, 24 years old, served in the Army Reserve as a horizontal construction engineer, right? She got awards and decorations that include the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Army Service Ribbon. Specialist Brianna A. Moffitt, 23 years old, served in the Army Reserve, is the same thing as a horizontal construction engineer. She has the same awards, right? And the oldest one of the three is the Sergeant William Rivers, 46 years old, right? And his awards is the Army Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Army Service Ribbon. These three melanated people pay the ultimate price. And we're here in this corporation on this land still having debates and dialogues about reparations, still talking about how many stops a police officer has to have or should not exceed in a given time period, still talking about being homeless and miseducated. And so the pain, right? The empathy that we, collectively are going to share with these families for grieving has to take on a whole different mindset as we going into, again, this is the second and a half decade in the 2000s. And we're still struggling with things that we've been struggling for since 1864, 65. It makes no sense. So I wanted to make sure that we gave the proper recognition in our class when it comes to that. Okay? Before we really get into it. Now, it's saying it's a drone attack. Now those three just happened to pay the ultimate price, but I believe there were almost 24 more. I believe some 24, 25 of us was injured. So we're going to see where this is going to go. Okay? I mean, again, it's a sad state that our people are still putting on these uniforms, right? Putting on these uniforms for Uncle Sam and getting minimal return. Speaking on uniforms, there's pictures going around of a certain hip-hop manager / social media person / Blood Damu member in a uniform. And I'm not sure if it's him, and if it is him, is the uniform official, because it looks real shaky. Oh, Rashida. You ain't going to disturb this class. You ain't get it. Anyway, what I'm telling you right now, Wack 100, there's some splaining to do. I've been on social media for quite some time, and you never ever hear me say anything about them. You don't hear me say much about any of these, because that's just not the lane. It's not me. There's nothing of intelligence that's going to come from me ever discussing them. But now, this is a point. We got to figure this out. Because is he ex-police, not proud of his uniform? Got to be proud, man. Because we see 3 melanated folks pay the ultimate price for wearing a uniform. Now, I don't know what's with these rap dudes or people that's associated with the rap community that is not extra prideful when they wore a uniform. We see Rick Ross chicken balls. We seen the chicken balls who likes to tell white folks his dreams. We see him deny that he went through training as a correction officer in a uniform. Denied it for years until the pictures came out and he couldn't deny it no more. That means, Officer Ricky, you had rat tendencies. And then you went from one enemy of the people to the next. You went from behind the wall to the streets pitching poison. These are the images that you ran with. You hid the fact that you went through CO training and then you jumped into you pushing more keys. You know the real Pablo and all that. This is what he said. So now that this picture is circulating of Wack in a service uniform, is that him? Is it him? Because I always wondered, how could somebody in the industry with no track record get to manage individuals such as Brandy, Ray J, and they had their parents. Her mama, Brandy mama, was their manager. How could somebody, and I've been in it, I know many managers who was pushed out of the whip force, especially when they had talent. Remember a kid named P. Good dude, was getting plenty of money in BK. He was the one funding Foxy and them. Him. As soon as they got around some other people, as they do, they force you out of the whip. The industry doesn't want certain strengths in the whip, and that's been going on, damn it, since Sam Cooke and them. If you are not in the whip, if you ain't with the gripper gates, but you got strength and you getting money and you got talent and an artist, trust me, the industry gonna find a way to force you out. This kid P wanted to knock Foxy and them whole family head off the way they maneuvered around and got up out of him after he spent mad bread. So I'm trying to figure out, how did he get to Brandy, Ray J, the game from out of nowhere? It makes sense if he is an officer. It makes sense if he was some type of double agent. It makes sense then. It makes sense then. Because these people are powerful enough to put you in a certain slot. Just like they do witness protection and all that. They can make you anybody. Yeah. Because they run everything. They run everything. If you think the government does not have its hand in the entertainment industry, you're highly mistaken. If you think the government doesn't have their hand into news, media, and propaganda, you're sadly mistaken. So trust and believe. If my commentary fit a certain space and I was willing to buck and bend over, they would put me in a tie, get that just for men. They wouldn't let me rock my gray out. And they damn sure wouldn't do what y'all let me do, which I'm going to start giving y'all 55s for that. Because you know, sometimes my shit don't be shaved up. Y'all have me on here looking terrible. And y'all don't say nothing. Y'all don't say, damn, Bliz, you got to get that little, because you know, I don't grow nothing, but little something. Y'all don't say, yo, shave, none of that. Y'all just have me on here looking raggedy. And y'all going to get 55s for it. All y'all. Except for Truth Lady. Except for Tierra. Rest of y'all getting 55. Oh, and except for C. Blades and Mark Lewis. Well, now, y'all all getting 55. The next time I'm on here and I don't look right, and I go in the mirror and look and see y'all let me come up here on here raggedy, y'all getting it. 55s for the whole damn class. Anyway, we need to find out if this is actually Wack and if that is actual, factual police uniform. Got the stars and the stripes behind it. You got looking real official. Why wouldn't he be prideful? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. This is the year of the truth. 2024. Huh? 2024. No truth shall be hidden. So if you are an ex-officer or you went through officer training, because you damn sure get a lot of people paperwork. I told y'all before, once you leave the system, it's hard. It's hard for me to get my trial minutes. And while you in the system, you get all type of paperwork. Other dudes' minutes, hearing, discovery, all that. Once you leave, if you're not a lawyer, if you don't have Westlaw, it's crazy expensive. You have to know where to look. These dudes is getting people shit left and right. So we need to know, because he do a lot of talking, a lot of sneaky, a lot of access to a lot of shit. Man, if he is an officer, be prideful. That's like some undercover rainbow shit. If you're a rainbow, be proud. Ain't nobody worried about whether or not y'all lizards. And right now in the game, ain't nobody worried about if you police or not. If you was an ex-officer or if you still an officer. Shit, we got other YouTubers that got whole snitch networks. And they cool. They running around, they doing their thing. Wack, if you are an officer, hold that. Damn. You can do good things as an ex-officer. Wack. You can have the whole police union behind you. Wack. Shit, damn it. We got a mayor in New York City. That's an ex-officer. So come on now. Come on now. Y'all tag him in here and tell him. If that is an actual factual picture and that is an actual uniform from an actual law enforcement agency, Mr. Wack, be proud of your past. Be proud of your past, Wack. Stand firm on it. As y'all always say, stand on business. Never use an officer. And let it be known. And that's it. Come on now. Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame. It's only shame when it's being revealed. Listen. I don't know what type of time Shannon Sharp is on. I don't know. He's taking Tommen and shucking and jiving to a whole nother level. And he must be stopped. His latest comment is deplorable. You're jeffing, homie, for no reason. You jeff and jeffed enough. You shucked and jived enough. Now they got you looking like King Kong out this, like Mighty Joe Young. You capping for this chick? First of all, Taylor Swift and any of y'all Swifties out here, she is garbino. Trash on stage. Trash. Garbage. Performance, whack. Garbage. I said it, we standing tall on it. She's dry. Dry. Very dry. Move like Elaine from Seinfeld. She moved like she got a dry heave with her. Nobody's studying it. But we see some type of play that's going on. We see what they doing. And if I was a gambling man, I'd have put mad bread on KC a long time ago. Ever since Aaron Rodgers went out, they've been pushing this narrative, and I knew they was going to the Super Bowl. That was an easy read. Easy read. So anybody that went for Detroit making it or Philly making it or Baltimore, y'all, nah. Come on, man. That was easy read every time they showed her dry ass at one of the games and kissing, and this was a play. Whether it's political, whether her and him are going to buy a team, whatever it is, we don't know. But for this dude, for Shannon Sharp to go on and say that she moves the needle more than Beyonce, that she, Taylor Swift, is the closest thing to Michael Jackson? Really? Come on, man. You talking about Mike. You talking about MJ, Michael Jackson, who as a grown man had other grown men crying and fainting and passing out before he sung a note? He go to Indonesia, he go to the Philippines, he go to Uzbekistan, grown men in their 40s. Michael, you saying that? Taylor Swift is compatible to that? Come on, Shannon. Come on with the Faye Ray King Kong bullshit, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. And nobody said nothing. No NFL. I mean, of course, his homie was like, son, stop. Trying to stop him. Trying to stop him. But he wouldn't stop. So no Stephen A said nothing. No, what's the chubby kid? No Wilborn. The other chubby kid. Nobody said nothing. Not even an old Faye sports anchor. Somebody, come on. Cam and Mace. Come on, man. Y'all not going to stop this dude? Really? MJ? She moves the needle. She must have promised him something really, really special on his grippers. I don't know what she said to him, but something was said, because that shit was the worst cap I ever heard anywhere, and he stood tall on it. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know why it's always. Ain't never none of, and I, listen, we're not going to go there. I'm not going to go into the colorist. But we don't see them light-skinned brothers doing that to that degree. Making outward statements. We going through some shit with the Passport Brothers and all that. But when it comes to entertainment, they always get the darkest, biggest, tallest, muscleless Negro to say the wildest shit about these old fays. Word the mother. It's always a big, thick mandingos that got the love. These old fays. I'm telling you, man. Man. Nah. Y'all got to stop him. For real, for real. That shit. Move the needle more than Beyonce? Is he serious? What needle? What needle is he talking about? And why was that the terminology? Why did he say she moves the needle more than Beyonce? Is that coded language? Because her man had all them commercials talking about the fix? Because that's the only thing you get a needle for. Damn, Bliz, sometimes you be thinking of some shit right off the top of your head, man. Maybe that is the reason for that terminology. She moved the needle. When her dude started doing them fix commercials, right after the announcement of them being together and all that, did more people go and pile up in them spaces? Because we damn sure know the numbers went up. People was getting sick. Maybe that's the needle he talking about, because B wasn't telling nobody to do that. Nor was J. Yeah, Shannon, we know what type of time you on. Okay? Enough of that. Because I'm telling you, I'm pressed for time. But I got to get on old Cottonmouth. We almost deaf. I gotta get on old Cottonmouth because I told y'all it was Cap. Didn't I tell y'all it was Cap? Why did he say that shit about Drake? Why wasn't the rest of his conversation poised and put in a position to go viral when he was speaking so eloquently about the issues of the planet? Why wasn't that? But the initial viral moment was him calling Drake target music, elevator music. And then I told y'all it was Cap. He was trying to get in the whip because every time he's live, he looking like Cottonmouth, playing chimes and all this other humanist shit. Right? Told y'all it was Cap. Now what? Common co-signs Drake is hip-hop. And all of a sudden, he trying to get in touch with Drake. I need to have a conversation with him, not over a screen. We need to talk. I reached out to several people. I asked Dave Chappelle. I did this. I didn't mean no harm. I don't dislike or hate anybody. I wasn't sounding just like old Cottonmouth when Granny come in there and say, didn't I tell you, get your ass in the bed? Yeah, y'all seen Cottonmouth? Yeah, go do an Instagram, do an IG search of Cottonmouth and see if he don't sound just like Yasiin Bey did talking that talk on his IG. Just like that. Okay? And then y'all let me know. But every time I tell y'all something is cap, it's cap. It definitely is. So I gotta move. I'll be back tonight because we got a lot to go through. Like, if y'all don't think it's cap, remember, he was signed to Raucous Records. Raucous Records. Real quick, Raucous Records was owned by who? James Murdoch. Who is James Murdoch? Bliz, who is James Murdoch? Rupert Murdoch's youngest son. Y'all didn't know he had an underground hardcore hip-hop rap label? Who was one of the first artists that he signed? Most Def, Talib Kweli, High Tech, Company Flow. All of Most Def albums funded Rupert Murdoch via his son's vehicle. So he been in the whip. Oh yeah. Yeah, Mos Def, Black on Both Sides. That was on there. Black Star, Mos Def and Talib Kweli and Black Star. All that's on Raucous. Huh? Talib Kweli and High Tech. Train of Thought. Yeah. Nurses Lounge. All that stuff Mos Def put out. Okay? Rupert Murdoch. James Murdoch. Conservative. Old phase and bankers. So yeah, that's why he capping. Somebody done tapped him on the shoulder and said, nah, you dead wrong. Yeah. But again, I'm moving, I'm en route, I got to move. Just quickly. Whoever funded the war effort real quick this afternoon, keep doing it. Because as you see, the war's on. We're losing melanated folks. Okay? And we need more classes. We have to discuss these things in real time. Okay? As always, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. I know that you have the power, the intellect, the determination to make it past any one of your struggles. Welcome to struggle. Kick it in his ass. You can do it. And together we can do it. All right? Yeah. Guard your mind. Peace and power. Peace and power. Okay? Yes, thank you, Tony Grant. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay?